Gordon Parks's 1942 portrait of government worker Ella Watson, which he famously titled American Gothic, is among the most celebrated and influential photographs of the 20th century. You will ask why. Answer in this video. Gordon Parks was born in 1912 in Fort Scott, Kansas, the youngest of 15 children in a farming family. Having lost his mother at the age of 14, he moved to Minnesota, where he lived with his sister and her husband, with whom he often argued, and at the age of 15 he found himself on the street. To support himself, Parks worked wherever he could, as a singer and pianist in brothels, as a traveling waiter, and as a semi-professional basketball player. Parks was working as a dining car waiter on the Northern Pacific Railroad when he saw photographers' portfolios in magazines. Struck by photographs of migrant workers, Parks bought his first camera at a pawn shop at age 25. After shooting windows for a women's clothing store, he took up portrait photography. Over the next few years, he moved from job to job as a freelance portrait and fashion photographer. Parks' search for work in the world of fashion photography led him to Vogue. Despite his racist sentiments, the magazine's editor, Alexander Lieberman, hired him to shoot a collection of evening dresses. Parks collaborated with the publication over the next several years. He moved away from static poses and developed his own style of photographing models in motion. In 1948, Parks spent a month with a 17-year-old gang leader in Harlem. His goal was to show that juvenile offenders are teenagers whose lives can change if social services intervene. Those photographs brought Parks a position as a photographer and writer at the leading American magazine Life. His works were published here until 1972. But, despite the various genres of photography in which Parks managed to express himself, his greatest interest was in the life of Black communities, as well as the topic of racial segregation. He himself encountered it, starting from childhood. Even at Gordon Parks Elementary School, Black children were not allowed to play sports or attend social events. And in 1942, Parks made one of his most famous and major works on this topic. In January of this year, with the support of a Rosenwald Fellowship, Parks arrived in Washington, D.C., to apprentice at the Farm Security Administration. While there, he met Ella Watson, one of the women who cleaned the government offices. After learning about her family and their struggles, Parks decided to make her the subject of his first extended picture story. The resulting photographs were a breakthrough in Parks' career. Through Watson, he was able to provide an intimate, humanist perspective on Black American life by photographing their everyday activities, both the struggles and moments of joy. The series of photographs, with American Gothic at its center, conveys a remarkably intimate portrait of Watson as a multidimensional figure, vitally important, and paradoxically overlooked, within the civic sphere. At first, I asked her about her life, what it was like, and so disastrous that I felt that I must photograph this woman in a way that would make me feel or make the public feel about what Washington, D.C. was in 1942. So I put her before the American flag with a broom in one hand and a mop in another. And I said, American Gothic, that's how I felt at the moment. I didn't care about what anybody else felt. That's what I felt about America and Ella Watson's position inside America. Gordon Parks said later. This photo is at once a record of one woman's position within the racial, professional, and economic hierarchies that stratified the nation's capital, and Parks's visual reckoning with the realities of Black life in racially segregated Washington, D.C. Remarkably layered and yet instantly legible, American Gothic communicated a complex of injustices with the barest of means: a flag, a woman, a broom, a mop. Its canny allusions to other icons of modern American visual culture, including Grant Wood's painting of the same title, strengthen the impact of what Parks described as an indictment of America. Parks later took another series of photographs of Ella Watson and her family. But many viewers were more moved by the first photo.